You're sitting in class and the loudspeaker comes on, and you hear a worried office attendant tell you that the school is now in lockdown. This is not a drill. The only thing between you and the shooter is a locked door. How are you going to respond? Arming school staff or having armed guards posted on school campuses may help deter school shootings from happening so often. Jim Garati, an author from the Morning Jolt magazine, states that having armed guards with proper training in the school at the time of the school shooting can help deter school shootings from happening or from being an effective mass shooting. But why exactly should we arm our teachers or at least have armed guards posted on campus? Well, although the police are very reliable, sometimes there's situations where they can't get to the scene of a crime as quickly as they're needed. The National Sheriff's Association says that it can take a police an average of 18 minutes to get to the scene of a crime, and that's without trains, traffic, and other factors. The National Sheriff's Association also said that a school shooting on average lasts about 12 and a half minutes. If teachers were armed or there were armed guards on school campuses, the amount of casualties could potentially be decreased and, in a sense, could save so many more lives. People rely on the police to show up at the scene of a crime when the crime is taking place and to be the hero. But all too often, something slows the officer down, and as a result of that, in this situation specifically, there are more casualties. After the Sandy Hook shooting of 2012, the rise of security and having teachers given firearms took over the nation, according to Melanie Rogers and Erica Laura Overes. Since then, several states have begun allowing faculty and other armed guards in their school. Rogers and Laura Overes also said that in 2018 alone, over 18 school shootings took place within the first 100 days of the school year. And 263 mass shootings took over, with over 100 of them being school-related. Texas was the first state to allow teachers to have firearms in their classrooms, ranging from a 9mm to a .45 caliber handgun, according to an article by the Education Week staff. The Education Week staff also says that ever since Texas allowed teachers to have firearms in their classrooms, states such as South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming, and about 15 other states have allowed armed guards on their school campuses. Jim Garati says that most of these schools only allow one armed guard on campus, and that armed guard is required to stay outside. But even having one armed guard increases the survival rate of the people inside the school tremendously. Not only does having firearms and armed guards posted help protect the school in case of a school shooting, but plenty of other benefits come along with it as well. Most people prefer the idea of having guards on school campuses rather than allowing their teachers to have firearms. Have you ever seen those gun-free zones posted outside of schools? You know, the one with the pistol slashed out? Well, since shooters see these signs and they think to themselves, this school's an easy target because they can't fight back very much. Since a lot of schools are on board with the idea of having armed guards in their schools, these signs could be taken down and replaced with signs such as armed personnel inside, decreasing the chance of a shooter breaking in. Brian Cook, an 8th grade economics teacher from Virginia, told Education Week that he had a carry conceal permit and would be willing to carry a gun in the school. His students told him that they would appreciate the extra level of security. Many students say that the idea of having concealed weapons on campus makes them feel safer and sets them at ease. Lastly, according to Julie Davis, a writer for the New York Times, she says that the NRA, or the National Rifle Association, has been pushing gun rights on school grounds since the Sandy Hook shooting of 2012. President Donald Trump has also gotten involved with the NRA, says Davis. Jim Garati said that liability for incidents that occur while an armed personnel is on school campuses are said to be covered by the school administration. However, the NRA said that they will also help cover these costs if there were to be an incident. Unfortunately, the opinions of educators who believe that guns shouldn't be allowed in school overpower the NRA's push for concealed carry permits on school campuses. In conclusion, arming staff or guards on school grounds is bound to help deter the shootings from happening so often. How long are we going to put up with the killing of innocent people and children before the American people have had enough? Majority of people don't support the idea of having armed personnel inside the school or giving teachers firearms. But there comes a time when enough is enough, and the 43% of people who do support will no longer stand for the killing of their children.